estate market today, it's a seller's market everywhere we turn. Sellers are receiving multiple offers. Some 10 offers on one property, some 80 offers just on one property. How do you deal with that? How do you handle all of that as a realtor in today's marketplace? Hi, I'm Paul R. Atkinson, your professional coach, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about two things that you could do when you're working with a buyer in today's market and when you're working with a seller in today's market. These things will help you to be successful in winning the bid and helping your seller to choose the right buyer so the deal doesn't fall apart. So before we get started, remember, in the description of this video there are tools that you could use to build your real estate business. So when we're done here, click in the description of this video and find the links that's going to help you to build your business. Also, give this video a thumbs up, and if you've not subscribed, come on, subscribe. So the real estate market today is crazy. How do you compete? How do you evolve in this new marketplace? First, when you're working with a buyer, one of the things you want to do is make sure you're in position to compete and win the bid. So I want you to write this down. Here's the first thing you should do when you're working with a buyer. Number one, you want to make sure that your contracts are fully complete. Most of the time, the listing agent will give you instructions on how to present the offer. Make sure you pay attention to that and prepare the contract so it looks amazing. No handwriting. You're talking about typing things up, okay? Whosoever's out there handwriting contracts right now, that's ridiculous. We're way past that. You need to make sure that the contract is fully written up, everything is in order. Here's a good tip for you as well. You want to make sure that you have the pre-approval letter with the lender's information on it, along with a DU, which is a desktop underwriter. And here's the bonus. You want to make sure that you also provide the buyers proof of funds to close, the cash to close. So what am I saying here? If the buyer has to come up with $30,000 to close for their down payment and their closing costs, show that on a bank statement. You want to show that in a 401k. Show it to the seller that your buyer not only has the pre-approval letter, the DU, desktop underwriting, but they also are showing they're being very transparent. Those are some of the real good secrets that we've been having here in the marketplace in South Florida. Try it out for size and see if it works for you. Make sure that the contract is written up nicely. Make sure that you have everything completed. You turn in the pre-approval letter, the DU, and the cash to close. And you want to follow up when you send that offer. Be sure to connect with that listing agent. Make them like you. You've got to sell them. You've got to sell them, so you've got to connect with them. It's even better if you know them, if you've worked with them before. Remind them of that. Let them know that you promised that you're going to give them a smooth transaction. But one of the biggest things that I want you to really catch here that we've been doing different in today's marketplace is we've never really added the buyer's proof of cash to close. And that's something new, and it's been working. So check it out, try it on for size. Number two, when you're working with the sellers, you want to help that seller to choose the right buyer. After all, they're getting 10 offers to 80 offers. How do you go through all of this in today's marketplace? Here's what you do. You make sure that you give everyone fair chance. You send out an email and you tell all the buyer's agent, hey, we have multiple offer situation. We need you to submit your offer prior to 5 p.m. on such and such a date. Then you gather all those offers up and then you stack them. You check them and you make sure that all offers have everything that's needed and required. Then you also want to check with the lender for each buyer. So that's a lot of work. You've got to call the lender and find out if this person is really real. So many times I've seen situations where the actual person that submitted the offer has outdated pre-approval letter. When I actually call that lender and say, hey, is this person, John Doe, working with you? Oh yeah, absolutely. I haven't done a PQ in them in 3 months. I've had that experience. So you always want to check with the lender to ensure that's a valid pre-approval letter. And as you move forward through the offers, knowing that you have the valid pre-approval letter and the DU and all these things, then you provide that input to the seller. You let them know that this is an offer that's way above asking price. However, there's an issue that you have to think about. What if the appraisal comes back less? How do you handle that? Well, you can get into a situation where the buyer can commit to a certain amount over the appraised value. For example, the buyer can say, hey, I will commit to X amount of dollars over the appraised value up to the contract price. So I make a higher offer. However, if it appraises lower, I'm going to put X amount of dollars on top of that, Mr. Seller, so you'll get that. And let the seller see that and recognize that. It seems to be very confusing in today's marketplace, but there's so many techniques that you could use to be successful. So remember that. When you're working with the seller, you want to ensure that you've done all of the legwork to ensure that the person have that money to close, they have that pre-approval and they're qualified, and then you scan through and see which one can actually close the deal. Very important. A lot more to put out in the description of this video, in the comments. Why don't you put a word out to us and tell us, what are you doing different in your marketplace right now? What do you see that's different? And now, one of the most important things that you could do, whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, is you must be professional. You have to maintain a professional attitude all the time. It's going to be very frustrating for us right now in this marketplace, but don't lose your edge. Stay professional. Remember, communicate with each other. So if you are dealing with a bunch of buyer's agent as a listing agent, you want to give everyone the opportunity. So you send an email out to everyone, or you have your staff or somebody, assistant, help you to do that. Get the communication between you and all the buyer's agent done every single time on your listings. That's very, very important. So you want to get back to people and follow up to make sure that you're giving out the right information. And finally, what I want to tell you in today's marketplace, you have to be organized. You must have some kind of system to be organized. Use a calendar. Make folders up for the property or whatever for the buyer, and just kind of organize your things, because you're doing so much work right now. You're submitting offers after offers. You're writing contracts. In one buyer, maybe you're writing 5 contracts before they actually get one. Stay organized. Pay attention to what's going on and be professional, as I've mentioned before. So in the real estate market today, these are the things that can help you to be successful. Rewind the video, take a look at it, reflect back. Remember, in the description of this video, click on the link that's going to help you to build your business. Also, give us a comment. Tell us what's happening in your marketplace that could benefit the buyer and could benefit the seller right now. Until next time, I'll see you real soon. Let's go get them, Tiger.